I'll open the meeting for the county council regular meeting, September 11th, 2024, last meeting of the year. Start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First order of business is to approve the minutes for our November 13th, 2024 meeting. Everybody get a chance to look at those? Any discussion? Andy made a motion.
I'll second.
Lance second. Any discussion? All in favor? Approved. All right, let's find this. All right, we got a list of board folks. Do we have somebody for everything? I didn't call
You do,
people and
yeah.
try to find anybody.
Yeah, you do. Council does, I mean.
Did not do that. We can go ahead with it. Let's do the salary ordinance. It's on the list first. Did everybody get to see the salary ordinance of what we did? You want me to read the paragraphs? The changes?
I never did see a paragraph.
I
Okay.
just sent it out late. I just
Yeah.
got it late.
Okay, here's the paragraph change from what was there. It says deputies, assistants, and employees, and fixing the number of deputies, assistants, and other employees of each office or department for the calendar year 2025 for Switzerland County, Indiana. The Switzerland County Employee Handbook, however titled, as adopted and amended, is incorporated by reference without exception into the salary ordinance for each county office or department who agrees to adopt, use, and follow the Switzerland County Employee Handbook. Employment compensation for by the salary ordinance remains contingent on compliance with the Switzerland County Employee Handbook for each county office or department who adopts and uses a separate employee policy. The employee compensated for by the salary if the contingent with the said employee policy. That makes sense. That lawyer lingo. I should have made you read it. You read it? Anybody got any questions about that? Okay, and we've got all the numbers, I believe. I haven't got to look these over, but I'm sure that you just had it in the things. You just printed that out, right?
Yeah, I just changed back to what they had
Okay.
done before. On the jailers,
Okay.
the amount's still the same.
Okay.
So the one from the other day, after you corrected reassessment and EMA, that's what we have.
I did not correct EMA because it was on there and then if I could not, from what I gave him $1,000 more because he was listed on there.
Right. But that's,
It's on that budget there.
okay.
That's right.
Was, yeah, because he was listed in with your number of people.
Yes,
right,
he was.
on your list.
Yes.
All right,
But reassessment wasn't.
No, I did take the assessment back.
That's what,
If you look at the reassessment deputy, it's back down to the 4560, where everybody else was doing.
and that one was different.
I took it $1,000 back off the reassessment,
Okay.
but it was
wasn't
on the
listed.
list that he's talking about.
You're absolutely correct on that. All right. All right, anybody any questions?
Yeah, you had, just so so every department head, elected official is filing back to you that they are or are not following the county handbook, correct?
I believe they're getting back with Pete. He's the one that has,
Yeah,
no,
So we'll have everybody by the end of
and
the year.
it states right there, they have,
Two right now.
depends on whether they want to adopt it.
Yeah.
The one that she emailed you, that's like this, without the paragraph, that is exactly what this is,
Okay.
with the two changes.
the only two is on deputy 5 and 6. I did talk to Chris and those are just because of there's a,
so responsibility changes or?
no, one deputy has not been replaced. And the other one should have gotten the increase. And I guess I just flipped them around. I don't know what I did, but the money's still the same.
Right. In the matrix, it should have gone.
Yes, it's the like I said, 5 and 6, so.
Anybody have any questions?
Neither
about-
one of them's public safety, right? Those are
No.
General fund.
No,
That's
that's
general.
general. Yeah, the public safety's on that back page.
That's, what is it,
That's,
6, 8, and 9. Right. Good. Long paragraph.
Yeah, that is a long paragraph, a little longer than the last one, but it covers everything. Insurance wise and all.
It does state that it's 2,080 hours, right?
Does not mention the
Yeah.
hours.
I copied what Pat sent to Lisa,
Yeah.
that's, she sent to me.
Hours. What do you mean?
Yeah, I go.
Salary hour is, salary hourly based on 2,080 hours annually.
Oh, it doesn't state that. It just, they just have an hourly rate. We've got the hourly rates written on there.
But what's it based on? I mean, I know it's written on there, but it's not based on,
You
what
get-
are you basing it?
You get paid that much an hour for however many hours you work.
So we're basing it.
Because if you don't work 280 hours, it's
It
not
never has said
40 hours a week.
2,080 hours.
That's a 40-hour week.
Never said 30,
I know.
never said 36, never said.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe in the commissioners things, whatever, it's not written on here. It's just the hourly rate. Right. Not,
I know it doesn't say that.
Yeah, it doesn't say it.
okay. Motion to accept the salary ordinance.
I'll make a motion to accept the salary.
Any second? I'll second it. All in favor? Opposed? All right, salary ordinance passed. Thank God and everybody else involved. All right, board appointments. Current board appointments. We have one person that's applied for the liquor commission. And I believe he was our appointee last time, which is Scotty Moore. Right, okay. And we make the motion for Scotty Moore. There's, yeah, the commissioners have one also, but that would be others.
Is there anybody in the audience that's, was trying to be on a board that wants to speak?
I think so. If I have to, it's an employee, yeah, an employee. So Andy made a motion for Scotty Moore. Todd was seconded. All in favor? Unanimous. Okay, so their liquor commission is done. Property tax assessment and appeals. One, the council has to appoint one person. The people that have applied is Natalie Peters, Amanda Roselli, is that how you say that? Jim Wingate and Christy Alexander. That board has certain criteria that you have to meet on that. I know Jim Wingate and Christy Alexander meet the criteria, things that they have to have. I don't know the other people, so I don't know
Amanda's from Jefferson County.
what.
Amanda's from
Amanda.
Jefferson County.
Do you have to have somebody out of county too, something like that?
For sure.
Um,
I'd have to
So
ask
for
the
council, you need to decide a person to
Did the
nominate.
commissioners pick anybody off these lists?
They're doing it on Monday.
So we get,
You get first dibs.
Yes.
I'll make a motion, I guess, for Amanda Roselli. She's the assessor in the other counties, so.
I believe I can ask Stacy.
I would say she's
Check.
qualified.
Yeah, and I think you have to have that. actually.
Yeah, she's level 3.
What's Jim though? Jim worked on these types of.
I don't know.
The commissioners have to pick two.
We got to pick it one.
Yes, we have to pick one.
And she's been the assessor in Jefferson County since 2021.
Oh, second Lance.
Okay.
She's serving for us right now.
Yes.
Okay, Lance has made a motion for Amanda Roselli. Todd is seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? All right. We did her last year, actually.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that. Okay, Parks and Recreation Board, council needs one person. Natalie Peters and Larry Galt has submitted an application. We saw Larry Galt's last meeting, or I was emailed to us or something. I saw that on this table. So I know I've seen Larry Galt. So Larry is currently on that. And all those on that wall are wrong, by the way. You know, there's appointments up there.
They're all wrong.
Oh, yeah, there's several of them wrong. I haven't been on the EME board for a while. And I'm still on that board. So those are not correct.
So we did get Larry's or no?
Yeah, we did.
I just fixed it in January.
And I thought.
Yeah, or after the appointment happened. But they're not correct. There's several of them not correct. I will tell you that I had, some people on the board come to me and say, and I did talk to Natalie Peters already too, because she applied for several boards. And I asked her what one she, is most interested in. And it wasn't the Park Board and Recreation, wasn't one of the four that she was most interested in. I called her the other day. And Larry Galt is very active on the Park Board. And the president of the Park Board very much would like to keep him.
Well, I think we're gonna be doing a total of 5. We have some of the commissioners on the development commission, and we're all gonna have 4 candidates, so
Yes,
she's gonna be on that for sure.
yes. So I need a motion for between Larry Galt or Natalie Peters for the Recreations and Park Board.
I'll make a motion for Larry.
Larry Galt, okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, Mike made a motion to appoint Larry Galt to the Park Room Recreation Board and, Matt second. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay. Okay, redevelopment commission. Needs 3, the council needs to appoint 2 people. We have, 1, 2, 3, 4, well, there's 5, but I think one is legally not allowed. The council person, I don't think is allowed to be here. Larry Jones, Jerry Monjar, Gene Crabtree, and Natalie Peters. And commissioners need to do 3 and council needs to do 2. So I'm thinking they're gonna be one person. So we need to choose 2 people.
I think it says choose one.
This one says 2.
Okay.
That was a typo on the email.
Okay,
Is that what you're saying from the email?
yeah.
Yeah, the email was incorrect.
Okay.
That's why I updated this just to be
Okay.
safe.
You want one nomination at a time?
Yes, one nomination at a time, please.
Do Natalie Peters. Make a motion for Natalie Peters. I'll second.
Okay, so Andy made a motion for Natalie Peters and Todd seconded. Okay. Andy made a motion for Natalie, Todd made second. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay. That's one. We need a second.
I'll make a motion for Larry Jones. I think I already on this.
Yes,
Yeah, the next page has the current.
yeah. He was a commissioner appointment before.
Not for this one.
So he'd be the only term.
Sorry, she applied, just not for this one.
Yes. No, Jim
No,
Crabtree.
Gene Crabtree.
Jim, yeah, returning also. You wanna make a motion for somebody?
I'll make a motion on Gene if we,
Yeah, well, he did for Larry Jones, right?
that's how you want to do it.
Okay. They're already here, going down there from the commission.
So, regardless.
That's all fine.
It does.
I can't, I conscious and put Larry Jones on anything after watching him run the town. So there's that.
So, if you- So
Did
there's
Matt
there's a
make a
motion.
Yeah,
I thought Matt made a motion for Larry Jones.
Is there a second on Larry?
I'll second Larry's. Out of respect, Larry. Okay, Matt, Lisa. Okay, there's been a motion for Larry Jones from Matt, second from Lisa. Any discussion? Andy?
Yeah, I made my.
I know, I'm just kidding you. All right, all in favor? Okay, carries.
Opposed.
All right. All right. That one's done. That's it. Yeehaw.
It's a lot easier than last year.
It is a lot of this last year, and it's all done, and they'll be ready to go beginning of the year. That's a big deal, especially for the liquor commission, because they will have a meeting the Wednesday of the council meeting, and they have to have it in order ready to go. All right, this is the old one.
Did I give you the minutes on them, or for the meetings?
Yes.
25?
Do we have to sign that or something?
Well, you guys need to vote on yours. I mean, the commissioners voted, but you guys should vote on your own meetings.
I think the new council should vote on that.
On the meetings and when they
Meeting.
are and stuff like that.
You got three new people coming on, so.
Yeah, I mean, none of
They need
them
to have
are,
a say in when they meet.
yeah, none of them are out of the norm. You know,
Yeah,
there's not a,
it's the second Wednesday,
It's-
5
it's
o'clock.
required second Wednesday.
It's probably gonna be the same, but.
yeah, is that what it is when the,
Unless it falls on a holiday.
Okay, now,
yeah, there's
I got
no
a question.
holidays is what I was trying to say, but
Can you wait and not do that when you've got a meeting January the 8th with the new council?
I'm not sure why we wait.
Can you change them?
What
later?
if the three new members can't do 5 o'clock? What are you gonna do?
Well, then you would change it after the new members are
Well,
on.
I mean, we
But-
can approve the January 8th meeting.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that, but I don't know why we would do the rest without the new members.
well, then if the new members could change them afterwards, but you kind of have to have it set, don't you, for the January to
You
start?
want the whole
We just
annual.
have the annual meeting calendar set out. I don't recall when the deadline is to have that happen, but I mean,
Let's approve the annual meetings, and if the new council wishes to review it and want to change it, they can make a motion to change.
That's the cleaner way to do it, I think.
Do it twice.
Well, if you're gonna change it. If they choose they want to change it, I mean, I would think that would be the cleanest way to do it, because you have to have a meeting set for January 8th right now. It seems a little silly just to make one. And more than likely, I mean, it's been a standard for how many years, as long as I can remember. Doesn't mean that they can't change it, because they can, but.
I think the ones that got elected probably knows.
Yeah,
You would hope they know
and
that.
the entire community knows that too, so.
I'm happy with
I'll make a motion to approve the meetings for council in 2025 as stated.
I'll second.
Matt made a motion.
I'm just trying to go home, mate.
Andy,
Just so you'll know when to be in attendance in the audience.
Yeah.
okay, for it's the second Wednesday at 5 PM, the same as it has been since the beginning of time. And, motion's been made by Matt, second by Andy. Any discussion? All in favor? And we have to sign this.
yes, please.
Who signed signatures on it? Did Randy sign it?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I'll just go ahead and, it's got a line that I'll just go ahead and sign after, and Eric's not here anyway, so that leaves one spot. All right. Is there anything else, Gail, that I'm missing? Do we need to, you guys got the investment in cash thing listed, so things are looking healthy. It'd be nice if we had the money in the banks and the trust, but boy, does it make a lot of interest money compared. Big difference.
Everybody's seen Delta really.
Yeah, that's on the next on the thing. Okay. So on the year, we started out in January, 27% down in that month, which scared us all half to death. And we ended, a little over 6% on the year. So it's not as bad as it started out. So that's good. There was, out of 12 months, there were 4 months out of the whole year that it wasn't in the negative. So, I mean, there's a trend there. We can't ignore that. You can't ignore that. It would be foolish to ignore that. But it didn't end up as bad as we started out, so that's encouraging. All right, new business. We don't have anything in new business unless somebody has something. Board reports. Michael.
We have one coming up on the 19th.
Recycling district, we met, it's been about 3 weeks ago. Nothing major going on. They got new signage, for the recycling center out there at East Enterprise. I think it's all installed. Nothing major coming up next year. They had all the documents.
Do they have quite a bit come in out there? Quite a bit? And how often do they haul it off after they, is this when the bin gets full or they do it?
Yeah, I think they do it as needed. Yeah, it's good.
Do they ever do a day where they take electronics and things like that, special things?
They have certain days on the calendar. They do like hazardous type materials. You know, and then, yeah, they have electronic stuff. So they have a, I think on their website, they've got a calendar.
I've never gotten on the website and I have some old computers. Like Josh South left one at the old headquarters and I've still got it in my phone. I mean, what do you do with it?
Now, stuff like refrigerators, and stuff, takes about any time. That's
Stuff like that you can?
Here's maybe a different.
Yeah. And then there's a couple people have asked me about televisions and things like that, old TVs that they're wanting to get rid of, and I don't know what to tell them. So they do have special
I think
projects.
the website's quite a bit, you know, information on
So some of us get on the website. All right. None?
Yeah.
Nothing. I'm not on a board, so I have nothing. All right, anybody in the audience got anything? You good?
it. That's all for you.
Huh?
That's all for you.
Oh, you, all right. But that being all business, it's been, good serving with you, Andy. We came in together, we're going out together. That's a good deal.
We had a good first 6 years.
We've had a good run. We've had a really good run. We, started out in the hole and come out ahead. So I consider that a good deal.
It was an $11 million swing,
Yes.
at least $11 million.
Yes, and that's painful for a lot of people and for us. So that's not, hasn't been an easy thing to do, but we made it, we managed it. Any other questions? All right, should I have you explain that paragraph? You think anybody? Because I think Gail had a little question about that too.
I reread it, I'm
Yeah.
fine.
You read
I
it?
mean, you can just, if you want him to, have at it,
I-
but I don't need.
Just before we close out the meeting, explain that paragraph in the salary ordinance so that everyone will understand exactly what that means.
So the prior salary ordinance had a paragraph in it, and the paragraph reads that Switzerland County Employee Handbook, however titled, as adopted and amended, fully incorporated by reference without exception into the salary ordinance. Compensation of positions within the salary ordinance remains contingent on compliance with the employee handbook. Subsequent to that, then there was the lawsuit. There was a settlement from the lawsuit. The settlement agreement included several terms, including one term which basically provided that elected officials, paragraph 25, elected officials and people who work in elected officials' offices or agents of the elected officials' office. Because the board of commissioners lack ability to control the elected officials' office and the people who work in their offices, the board is not liable for their actions. And that the 28, that the board has the authority to make policies concerning employees who are in their direct employment. For example, highway department, courthouse maintenance, or other elected officials who agree to be bound by the county's personnel policies handbook. And so I was asked to then amend that paragraph to incorporate some of those changes. And so the new paragraph says that the handbook is incorporated and that for those offices that are directly under the commissioners or that in fact adopt the county handbook, the one that's been produced by the commissioners, that employment is contingent on following those conditions. So in other words, you know, just because you're in the salary ordinance doesn't mean that you're guaranteed employment. You have to follow the rules. And if you are under the policies of the commissioners, because either you work for the commissioners or because you work for an office holder who has adopted those policies, then you are bound by those policies. And then the second part of the paragraph says that you're in an office where the office holder has not adopted the commissioner's policies, then those employees are bound by the policies of that office. So that office has their own personnel policy, then those employees are bound by that. And so again, it's saying that the conditions of employment are that you have to follow the rules, whether those rules come either from your office holder or from the commissioner's policy as adopted by your office holder.
Very good. And the reason why you have to have a rule is insurance liabilities. So that's,
Generally speaking, yeah, personnel policies are important because there are a series of federal and state statutes that have, specific employment requirements, including harassment, workers' compensation, FMLA, and there's lots of federal and state law that directly applies to all employers. And the purpose of having a policy is to to help limit liability by demonstrating that you, in fact, know what those policies are and that you're following the law in application to your employees. And then by having a policy that, in addition to that, that you're doing it consistently across the board, so that you don't have discrimination claims, that you're handling policies one way with one employee and a different way with a different employee. So that's the whole reason why personnel policies, especially ones that are tacked to federal and state law, are so important.
It's protection for the county and protection for the employees also. We're done. Motion to adjourn.
Motion. Second.
All right, motion to adjourn by Andy, second by Todd. All in favor?
How are you?
How are you? Good.
Yeah.